Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. It's pound cake time today, and I'm in the mood for a 6-flavor pound cake. About 3 years ago, I did a 5-flavor pound cake, and I used black walnut, butter, vanilla, lemon, and maple. And it seems like, I guess, more of the traditional or southern 5-flavor pound cake, if you will. A lot of people use coconut, butter, vanilla, lemon, and rum. So we're going to try that today, but I also want to add a little bit of almond. So let's see how this turns out. I hope it tastes great. I'm also going to do like a sugar glaze, if you will. We're going to use like half cup of sugar, half cup of water, bring that to a boil, add all of the same flavorings or extracts, and then we're going to pour that over the cake. Okay, so actually it's going to be a cream cheese 6-flavor pound cake. Y'all, we just love cream cheese. I love baking cakes with cream cheese. I've said that before. The 8 ounces of cream cheese that is room temperature is already in my bowl, okay? I have 3 cups of, today we're using all-purpose flour. Now, when I did the 5-flavor years ago, I did cake flour. When you use cake flour, it makes more of a tender crumb, if you will, for your pound cake. But we're gonna do all-purpose today. And in this, I sifted it 3 times. I sifted 3 times. And then right here, I have ½ teaspoon of baking powder. And then I have ½ teaspoon of salt right here. I have 3 cups of sugar. We have 5 large eggs that are also room temperature. I've already cracked those. 3 sticks of unsalted butter that's also room temperature. And we're going to use a ½ teaspoon of each one of these, and I'm kind of using what I have. So we have coconut, use some butter extract. I have my vanilla and lemon. And then I have a butter rum oil. So that's what I'm using. I have a little bit in each one of them. That's why I have both of them out. So we're going to use that for the rum. And then here's my almond extract. Okay. My oven is preheated to 325 degrees. Of course, I've thoroughly washed my hands. Y'all stop being in the kitchen with nasty hands. I keep telling y'all that's just nasty. Now let's get started mixing up this cake. Now, like I said, I went on and put my cream cheese in because, honey, I will forget. So we're going to start by adding to our cream cheese our 3 sticks of unsalted butter. And I also went on and did my old school greasing of my cake pan. I've already greased and floured my cake pan, so we are ready to go. And this is the last stick of butter. I'm gonna go on and add my extracts. First, we have our coconut. I always like to shake them a little bit too. There. So this is ½ teaspoon of coconut, ½ teaspoon of butter, half teaspoon of vanilla. Half teaspoon of lemon. And I won't need quite half teaspoon of the oil because I think the oil is a little more concentrated than, let's see what's in here, than the liquid extracts. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more than that. This makes me think about, okay, so that wasn't even a half teaspoon. So that's our butter rum. This reminds me of, I used to love rum caramel now laters when I was a kid. Ooh, and it smells so good. And then our almond. I think almond can be kind of strong. So we're going to do maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon of almond. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on my mixer and I'm going to turn it on high. And I'll mix up this butter and cream cheese and all of the extracts for just a few seconds. And then once I get those all mixed up, then I'll slowly start adding my 3 cups of sugar. My mixer is set on medium high. This mixer is set on about 8.5. And I will cream the butter, the cream cheese, the sugar, all of the extracts for about 10 minutes. During that process, I will stop at least twice to scrape down the sides of my bowl, because what will happen is all of those ingredients, a lot of it will end up kind of caking up on the sides of the bowl, okay? So I have to scrape it down because, honey, if it's up on the sides of the bowl, it's not down in the bowl getting properly creamed. Do not rush this process. Have you ever noticed a cake after it's baked, it looks kind of streaky or gummy or gooey? Where it's almost like you can see streaks of the butter. Oftentimes it's because it was not properly creamed or creamed long enough. Now, there are some people that say they don't cream 10 minutes. They might cream 5, they might cream 3. As for me, I cream at least 10 minutes. So do whatever works for you. I'll set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm looking at my microwave because that's where my timer is. I'll set a timer and I just do something else while we're creaming, okay? Your mixture should look light and fluffy. You do not want to hear those sugar crystals mixing around in the bottom of the bowl. So I will stop and I'll show you what it looks like when I say light and fluffy, okay? Ten minutes later, we are light and fluffy, okay? So that's what you should be looking like. Now it's time to add our eggs. And I keep the mixer at the same speed. And we add our eggs one at a time. I do not wait for the yolk to totally disappear. I add an egg, let it mix for a few seconds, and then I add the next egg. Now sometimes, honey, 2 eggs will jump in at one time. If that happens, no worries. Just mix a few seconds longer because now you're trying to incorporate 2 eggs rather than 1, all right? So once we get our eggs added, then it's time to add the flour. Now, ordinarily, if I were using milk or heavy whipping cream or some kind of liquid with the cake, I would alternate the flour, which is the dry, with the wet, which would be whatever liquid I'm using. But since we're not using any liquid, I'm looking for a fork and kind of mix in this, that's a spoon, that's fine. Kind of mix in this baking powder and salt. But since we're not using a liquid, we'll just add just a little bit of flour at a time. Once I start adding the flour, you'll notice that I'm going to turn the mixer down to low. This mixer is usually set on about 2. You do not want to mix and add flour on high. A lot of times, this is a problem area too for a lot of people because they overmix. They're trying to get the batter silky smooth. That's not what we're trying to do. So be careful not to overmix. Like I said, you'll notice I'm going to turn the mixer way down. This will only take, probably not even, it usually takes about 2 minutes when I'm alternating with the wet, whatever that liquid may be. But since I'm not using a liquid, this will take less than 2 minutes. And then oftentimes I like to stop it a little ahead of time. That way I can finish mixing a little bit by hand, okay? So once I turn the mixer down, we're gonna add the flour and then that'll be it. We will be ready to get this cake poured and get it baked. Now I did not stop the mixer at all to scrape down my sides, so I definitely need to do that. see how the flour has kind of collected up here on the sides. So let's scrape it down. Just kind of fold it in. And I'm making sure that I'm going and getting up under the bottom to make sure everything was thoroughly mixed and that there aren't any dry spots, okay? Now today, this is a thick batter, extremely thick. So I won't be able to pour this batter like I normally do. We're just gonna plop it in. Ooh. This batter is thick and this bowl is heavy. God almighty. Ooh. Okay, now we want to try to get the batter as smooth as we can, level. You don't want any big humps in your and lumps in your batter, so try to get it level and smooth it around a little bit. Hitting it under the bottom to release air bubbles. Definitely a thick batter. Okay. So now we're going in 325 degrees. I bake my cakes in the middle of my oven, so I adjust my racks where one of them is in the middle of the oven, okay? We're setting our timer for an hour and 15 minutes, but I will be sure to let you know exactly how long it baked once I take it out. Okay, we're getting ready to take the cake out in just a couple of minutes. And I want to go on and do my little syrup for the glaze, okay? I have ½ cup of sugar. We're putting in the pot and we're adding half cup of water. So I wanted to go on and put that on, and we're gonna let that come to a boil. Let it come to a boil. And this is just like a simple syrup, if you will, for the cake. And I've decided, I don't know that I want to put all of those extracts. Definitely want to do vanilla, lemon, let's see. I do have a little bit of butter. I don't have any, that butter rum, that's pretty much gone. But maybe I just do a little drop of the, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5. So we're gonna do a drop of the almond, the coconut, the butter, the lemon, and the vanilla. Okay, so everything but that butter rum, honey, that's gone anyway. So we're gonna let this, you want all of this sugar to dissolve, and we're gonna let it boil just a minute or two. And then once I turn it off, I'll add the extracts, okay? And then once we stir in all of the extracts, then we're just gonna pour it over the cake. Now we will let it cool down just a little bit. It won't be boiling hot when we add it to the top of the cake. And I think we are ready to come out. So we have baked about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Remember, baking time is going to vary, can vary, depending on your oven, right? Okay, here we are. So we'll sit here and cool. Let me set my timer for 10 minutes. Ouch, 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 ouch. Whew. Just trying to move it out of the way of this pot I have on. Okay, so we'll cool, and we're still waiting on this to boil. Okay, we are boiling now, so I'm going to remove it from the heat and just add a little drop of each one of the flavors. This is the coconut. I don't want to overdo it, okay? This is the butter. Just a smidge. It's so hard to measure out just a little bit. A couple of drops of the butter. This is the lemon. Just a smidge. And we have the almond, definitely just a drop. And then last but not least, the vanilla. Okay. So we'll just stir this. We'll let this, it'll cool down just a little bit because we still have a few more minutes before we can even flip the cake. So now this is ready. So we'll just sit it here, and the cake is almost ready to flip. All right, we are flipping. We stuck a little bit. But she pretty. So now we will let her continue to cool, and then we'll be ready to pour this glaze on maybe in about 30 minutes or so, okay? it is time. Y'all, dude number one is gonna have to come in here in just a minute at the tail end because we have to go somewhere. And I told him, baby, we have got to close this video. Ooh, that feels so moist. I can at least let y'all see the cake before he gets in here, I guess. Listen to him in there. I told him, I said, babe, keep on. I'm going to close this video without you. Ooh, 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 ooh. I can tell that syrup soaked up under the bottom. Ooh, wee. Y'all look at that. Baby, I'm closing this without you. Look, y'all. Amen. Ooh, y'all, I can tell it is so moist. Let me see. And it's still warm. Do like this, tasting the flavors. Oh yeah, babe, this cake is good. Ooh. That's great. Come here real quick, babe. Well, you need to put some clothes on, sir. At least y'all won't have to worry about him talking long today, because we have to be like out the door like now.
Y'all, I gotta hurry up and leave. Y'all still.
Stop playing. Dog. Hey. Honey. Why you have to do it like that? Here, hold it so we can get a thumbnail. Y'all, this is so good.
It's moist.
Ain't it moist? Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Pay no attention to my eye. Hey, you off the screen. Y'all. Okay, y'all. It is so good. Now I'm gonna tell you what I did do when I took it out of the oven. I put it in the microwave. You know how you hear people talk about letting the cake sweat? That's what I did. Oh, it's so good. Baby, it's a 6-flavor pound cake.
Some lemon in it.
Uh-huh. Keep going. You take
vanilla?
Yes.
Some extract?
That's what the lemon and vanilla is.
Okay. So I got 3 right?
No, the lemon, that's what they're called, an extract. So it won't have time to play with you. It's lemon, it's coconut, butter, vanilla, lemon, butter rum, and almond. 6-flavor pound cake.
I'm allergic to almonds.
You're allergic? Okay. Anywho. Well, listen, you guys, we hope that you all enjoy the video. This is delicious. If you think of, like, if some of you know some other combinations of extracts for like a 5-flavor, 6-flavor, I've even seen a 7-flavor pound cake, let me know. I would be willing to try some of them, because sometimes when you think about certain extracts that you put together, you may think, ooh, that doesn't sound good, but it tastes absolutely amazing. So y'all let me know, okay? I'm just looking at you. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so.
By hitting the nose.
That's turning on that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we're over here doing whatever it is we are doing. Thank you all so much for watching. We already look forward to you. Isn't it good? Joining us again next time. I did tell y'all I put it in the microwave, right?
Yeah,
let it sweat. Yeah, and then I took it out to put the glaze on it, okay? All right, thank you all so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. What you say?
When you put it in the microwave, it get rubbery.
No, it made it sweat. It helps with moisture, so they say. Anyway.
When I put my biscuits in there, it dried out and they be hard.
That's because you turned the microwave on and had it on too long.
Yeah.
I didn't turn the microwave on.
Oh, you just put it in there?
Yeah, I just set it in there.
It's like a little sauna.
Yeah.
See?
Bye.